Hello, I'm going to demonstrate some of what I've been putting together for Cream for making schedules and putting sessions into time slots. So this is all very much off the cuff. I haven't actually tried everything put together yet. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to start by adding a schedule. So a schedule is something like a day of a camp. So your Friday, your Saturday, your Sunday. Friday might be your training day. Saturday and Sunday are just regular camp days. So I'm going to say Saturday and a description, which I'll add later. And then here we start adding time slots. So this is just inline entity form. And here I'm using the time field module, which gives me a very nice pop-up widget. So my first session is going to run from 9 till 9:30, and that's going to be my registration slot. So you want to create one time slot for each thing that you want to timetable. So then 9:30 to 10:30 is going to be the keynote. Now, obviously, I think there's plenty of scope for I think this is pretty good, but there's plenty of scope for even further improvement in the future. Because obviously here I'm having to re-enter the 10:30 as the start time. So if we had something where some JavaScript magic could pick up the previous end time and put it in the next start time, that would be great. But so 10:30 to 11 is going to be coffee. But I still think this is pretty good for an initial build. And 11 till 12 is going to be the last session before lunch. We're having lunch at 12. I like having lunch at 12. Okay, super. So you get the picture. So I'll put in the description. First day of camp sessions. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of an architectural decision to have each day be a different thing, but it means that you don't need to muck about putting dates on the time slots, which greatly simplifies them, because otherwise you're picking a date and a time every time. Right, so that's that done. Now I need to put the sessions. Now, a word before I carry on. So the time slots are made with ECK, Entity Construction Kits. They could probably have been made with custom entities. Ignore that. I think that's one of my early ones that's gone wrong. Yep, that's one of my very early ones that wasn't fully qualified and doesn't have field data. Ignore that. Yeah, they could have been custom entity types. I used ECK just for speed of build. Again, it's perfectly fine for the time being. If we want to lower our overhead later on, we could use a custom entity type or not, as the case may be. Okay, so now I'm going to add some sessions. So I've created a session node type. My session on ECK. So at this point, we'd have some field permissions, field access control, so that when a participant creates a session, they don't see the time slot field that's here. They just see the title and the description, and we'd let them pick a track and a difficulty level and that kind of thing. And then the camp organizer or the site builder would edit this and they would have access to the time slot. So I've had to do a little bit of coding to get this drop down to show me the schedules and the time slot times in the entity reference field. But basically it's as simple as this. I just pick, let's say this is going to be on 11 till 12. There we go. So that currently just says 11 till 12. So we need a little bit more code in either a custom field formatter or just a label callback to have that not just say the time, but say the actual Saturday. So it should say Saturday and the date and the time, and that should also link through to the Saturday. But it's all coming together very nicely. Obviously, the other thing to do then is that the Saturday thing needs a timetable showing the sessions and the tracks. But again, that's something that I'm going to be building with Views quite soon. But yes, so for something I started sort of tinkering with a couple of days ago, I think this is going quite nicely. Hence this is me showing everybody. That's all for now. Bye.